All right, let's just jump right in. For what felt like forever, there was this one way to do things online, this one playbook for success that promised all the secrets and all the shortcuts. Well, I'm here to tell you that playbook is officially dead. And we're about to break down exactly why and what's working right now.
I bet this sounds familiar, right? This was the classic promise, the anthem of the internet guru era. It was all about these huge, flashy claims from experts who swore they had cracked the code to making a fortune online. And, for just a few easy payments, they'd let you in on the secret. The whole model was built on this idea of a perfected system. These gurus, they sold you the dream of a plug-and-play formula that would let you escape the 9-to-5 grind. The message was always, hey, don't think for yourself, don't struggle, just copy exactly what I do. And the language they used, oh man, it was all about secret tactics, mind control, and just total domination. The promise wasn't just that you'd succeed, it was that you would crush everyone else, that you could basically command people to do what you want, almost like they were on autopilot. And this right here is the big turning point. Because after years of being sold these perfect systems and seeing these flawless lifestyles, we all started to get a little suspicious, right? The world is just drowning in this kind of hype. And that has created a huge, huge problem.
And this number, wow, this really tells the story, 70%. That's how many of us have unsubscribed from a brand in just the last 3 months because we were getting spammed with too many messages. People are just plain tired. We're exhausted by the noise and we're hitting the off switch. And here is the core of the problem. You've got this massive disconnect. Almost all of us, 88%, say that authenticity is super important when we decide who to follow or what to buy. But only about half of us think brands are actually being authentic. That giant gap, that's where the old guru playbook goes to die.
We've basically hit our limit. We're putting up walls with ad blockers and do not disturb modes. And get this, according to a McKinsey report, social media is now the least trusted place people go to make a buying decision. The trust has just evaporated.
So, if the perfect, all-knowing guru doesn't work anymore, how in the world do you build trust? Well, the answer is kind of weird. It's completely the opposite of what you'd think. To build trust in the super skeptical world, you don't need to be perfect. You actually need to be flawed.
And this isn't just a theory, it's a real psychological principle. It's called the pratfall effect. Basically, when someone who's really good at what they do makes a small human mistake, like they trip over a step or spill coffee on their shirt, it doesn't make them look worse. It actually makes them more likable. It makes them real. And suddenly, we trust them more.
Now, this is not some new idea. The smartest brands have been doing this for decades. Volkswagen knew the Beetle looked a little funny, so they owned it. Stella Artois took a negative, being pricey, and turned it into a sign of quality. They were radically honest about a so-called weakness, and it totally worked. And you can see this in the data today. A really cool study from Northwestern University found that products with a perfect 5-star rating are actually less likely to be bought. Why? Because our brains immediately think, that's too good to be true. The reviews must be fake. The sweet spot, the place where we actually trust it enough to buy, is in that slightly imperfect range, like 4.2 to 4.5 stars.
Okay, so we get it. Being a little imperfect is actually a superpower. But how do you actually do that in a way that works? Let's get practical and look at the new playbook. There are 5 key ways to do this.
This right here is the new blueprint. It's not about showing the perfect final product, it's about sharing the messy journey. You gotta pull back the curtain and show the process, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Be honest about things, like if there's a delay, show the real people doing the work. And when something goes wrong, don't just show the fix, show how you figured it out. It's all about proving you're a real human being.
And what all of this leads to is this really fundamental change in the goal itself. The old guru wanted a passive audience of followers to command. The new way is all about building an active community from the ground up. People don't want to just be talked at anymore. They want to be part of something. They want to connect with a real person on a real journey.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? As technology and AI get scarily good at creating perfect, flawless stuff, our human mistakes, the little stutters, the messy backgrounds, the honest oops moments, they become the clearest, loudest signals that there's a real person on the other side of the screen.
So, let's bring this all home. The big shift we're seeing is this move away from the untouchable expert who has all the answers.
Instead, we're drawn to the relatable guide, the underdog who's willing to share their map with us, including all the places where they got totally lost along the way.
So all those things that the old guru playbook told you to hide, the stumbles, the setbacks, the raw, unedited moments, those are now your greatest strength. Your vulnerability, your struggles. That's what forges a real connection. That's what makes people believe in you, because they see themselves in your story.
So I'll just leave you with this final thought. As the world gets more and more polished by AI, maybe the most powerful, the most strategic thing you can possibly do to build real trust is to just be unapologetically, imperfectly human.